All the soldiers standing on the high wall of the fortress were fully prepared to face the oncoming threat. They weren't facing just one or two creatures, but millions of them rushing straight toward the towering wall to slaughter everyone. Seeing the danger approach, a large group of soldiers synchronized and released their arrows. The arrows pierced straight through the bodies of numerous creatures. Yet the creatures didn't stop and kept charging directly toward the fortress. The people inside the fortress instantly realized that if these creatures scaled the wall and made it to the top, they would bring instant death. So they quickly poured oil onto massive stones, set them ablaze, and used their catapults to hurl them at the creatures. The flaming stones flew at high speeds and smashed directly into the oncoming horde. Right then, the queen of the creatures vibrated the upper half of her body. Through this, all the creatures understood the signal that they needed to push forward. In the blink of an eye, several creatures scaled the high wall and reached the top of the fortress, immediately attacking the soldiers stationed there. The soldiers launched heavy counterattacks against the creatures on the wall, but they were overpowered by the creatures' sheer strength. Because of this, the situation deteriorated far worse than expected. Amidst this chaotic battle, we see two men named William and Tovar, whose hands are tied up just then. They spot an old man hiding behind a wall. William immediately calls out to the man, telling him to untie their ropes. "Unbind our hands!" Hearing this, the old man uses a sharp blade to cut the ropes. The moment William is freed, he grabs a large spear and drives it straight into a creature's body. Within seconds, another creature is forward to kill William. William takes aim and stabs the creature straight in the eye. Right next to him, a soldier is about to be killed by a creature. But William forcefully shoves the soldier out of the way, causing him to fall safely in the distance, narrowly saving his life. In no time, William and Tovar managed to kill a large number of creatures on top of the wall. Suddenly, on the other side of the wall, the queen of the creatures vibrates her upper body once again. Consequently, all the creatures turn back and retreat, fleeing the area shortly after. As soon as the creatures leave, the general praises William and Tovar for their bravery. In reality, the only reason these people are alive today is because of William and Tovar, because they were the ones who warned the general that the creatures were about to attack. In fact, a few days prior, William, Tovar, and two of their companions were sitting in a dark cave, discussing a weapon known as black powder. Black powder is a weapon so powerful that even a tiny spark is enough to eliminate a threat. But suddenly they felt something move past them at lightning speed. They scanned their surroundings, but in a split second, this fast-moving threat killed two of William's companions. Panicking, William and Tovar drew their swords. As the unknown threat lunged to attack them again, William used his sword to sever one of its arms, and the creature fell down into a ravine. William immediately picked up the severed arm and told Tovar they needed to get out of there. At dawn, the two set off on their horses to escape the area. However, they were soon pursued by enemy bandits who had been hunting them for a long time. Fleeing for their lives, William and Tovar reached a high vantage point, where they looked ahead and saw a massive structure called the Great Wall. The wall was heavily guarded by soldiers. The soldiers immediately lit their fire arrows and surrounded the two men. William and Tovar were completely trapped. They had bandits behind them and strangers in front of them. William told Tovar they should take their chances with the people ahead. Believing it was their best shot, they both dropped their weapons. Immediately after, they were taken prisoner and brought inside the fortress. When the commanders of the Great Wall saw the severed arm in their possession, fear gripped them all. They already knew exactly what kind of monster that arm belonged to. Commander Lin then questioned them, asking where they had found the arm. "Where did you get this?" William replied that they didn't just find it. He had cut it off, but not before it killed two of their men. Hearing this, the commander grew even more terrified because they realized that those creatures had returned after 60 years. Their name was the Tao Tai. Seeing their panic, William instantly understood that whatever creature that arm belonged to, it was a massive threat. Just then, a soldier ran in and reported that they had spotted a massive horde of creatures approaching the high wall of the fortress. Upon hearing this, the commander ordered all soldiers to the high wall, fully armed and ready. Meanwhile, William and Tovar were left tied up in a holding area. That's when we see millions of Tao Tai advancing. The soldiers stationed above attacked them with a barrage of arrows. Soon enough, the Tao Tai began scaling the fortress walls. However, William and Tovar broke free, and, fighting with immense bravery, managed to kill many Tao Tai. As a result, the Tao Tai queen ordered her horde to retreat. Following this battle, William became a hero in everyone's eyes, and instead of being imprisoned, they were granted their freedom. But the danger was far from over, because the Tao Ti were bound to attack again. A little later, while William is inside the fortress, the same soldier whose life he saved comes up to him. The soldier thanks William. Shortly after, William and Tovar meet the old man from earlier, who shares his story. He tells them that he came to this place 25 years ago in search of black powder, but has been unable to escape ever since. The old man then gives William and Tovar a brief glimpse of the black powder, explaining that even a tiny spark from it can cause a massive explosion. William and Tovar already knew about black powder, but they had never actually seen it before. The old man suggests that they work together to steal the black powder and escape. Once we get out of here with it, we can sell it and become incredibly wealthy. Tovar asks, how are we supposed to escape this place? The old man replies that the Tao Ti will definitely attack again soon, which will keep all the soldiers busy trying to stop them. That will be our best window to escape, because all the soldiers will be up on the wall, and I know a secret back exit out of the fortress. However, William was no longer willing to go through with the theft. Secrets and strategy. The next moment, William and his companion are invited to join everyone for a banquet. The commander asks William to demonstrate his skills. William asks his friend to hurl a bowl into the air. The moment Tovar throws the bowl up, William takes aim, rapidly fires 3 arrows, and pins the bowl against a distant wall. Everyone is highly impressed by William's marksmanship. Afterward, they all sit down and share a meal together. A short while later, the general calls William and Tovar over. He shows them a piece of magnet and asks, "We found this magnet in your bag. Is it yours?" William confirms, "Yes, it's mine." The general explains that this magnet possesses a strange power, and it was the real reason William was able to kill that Tao Tai so easily. In truth, whenever this magnet is brought near a Tao Tai, the creature becomes calm and weakened. The general explains the origin of the Tao Tai, stating that many years ago a meteor struck a mountain, unleashing a green surge of energy that birthed these monsters. Since then, they return once every 60 years to wipe out humanity. They are all ruled by a single queen. The more she eats, the more Tao Tai she breeds. In other words, all Tao Tai answer to their queen and follow her exact commands. If they want to stop the growing horde, they must kill the queen first. Once the queen dies, all the other Tao Tai will perish automatically. However, killing the queen is no easy task, as she is constantly surrounded by layers of shield-bearing Tao Tai. No threat can get anywhere near her, let alone kill her. Suddenly, the roars of the Tao Tai echo from the high wall. Hearing the cries, the general and a few soldiers rush to the top. There, they see a lone Tao Tai charging straight toward them at high speed. The Tao Tai aggressively attacks the soldiers, knocking them to the ground. The creature then lunges at Commander Lin. Seeing this, the general shoves Commander Lin out of the way and drives his sword straight into the Tao Tai's mouth. However, during the struggle, the Tao Tai fatally bites the general. The general tragically loses his life, leaving everyone devastated. Sometime later, William shows the magnet to a group of people and suggests we should capture a Tao Tai alive and test the magnet on it. Commander Lin asks, but how do we capture one? Meanwhile, we see William's friend, Tovar, who is growing furious with him. As William approaches, Tovar snaps angrily, "Have you lost your mind? Our only mission is to grab the black powder and get out of here. What are you trying to do? We need to use the chaos of the attack to escape, not stay back to help these people." But William refuses to listen to his friend. Following this, the soldiers head up to the high wall and coat their arrows with a yellow, sedating liquid. It is morning, and a thick fog blankets the area, completely blinding the view below. Suddenly, the Tao Tai begins scaling the wall through the fog. The soldiers launch an assault on the climbing monsters. They engage massive, rotating blades built into the center of the wall, slicing many Tao Tai in half. Amidst the chaotic battle, the commander orders the launch of large harpoons, coated in the yellow sedating liquid. The harpoons strike several Tao Tai below. However, the surrounding Tao Tai rip the harpoons out of their bodies, and the horde decides to retreat once again. But we see that one Tao Tai is still snagged by a harpoon line. The soldiers strain to haul the harpoon back up. William yells, "Slack the chain! Don't pull so hard! Give it some slack! The liquid will slowly weaken the Tao Tai and knock it unconscious." Trusting William's advice, they ease up on the chain. After waiting a bit, William uses the chain to lower himself down to check on the Tao Tai. Reaching the bottom, he sees incapacitated Tao Tai littered everywhere. William raises his bow and moves cautiously, scanning the foggy surroundings. Initially, he sees no active threats nearby. Seizing the moment, William wraps the chain securely around the sedated Tao Tai. He shakes the chain to signal the troops above to haul it up, yelling, "Pull it up, we got our catch!" Suddenly, a rogue creature leaps out of the fog and lunges directly at William. William reacts instantly and fires an arrow straight into its eye. The fog is incredibly dense, making it very difficult for William to see what's coming. Just then, another Tao Tai blindsides him from behind. Fortunately, his friend Tovar arrives just in time and kills the creature. "I'm only saving you so you don't get yourself killed," Tovar yells. He tells William that he's being reckless and that they need to stick to the plan so they can leave. As they argue, more Tao Tai begin closing in on them. Back to back, the two friends cooperate and take down the approaching monsters. Before long, thousands of Tao Tai begin swarming their position. Seeing the overwhelming numbers, William realizes they can't fight them off alone. He shoots a signaling arrow up toward the fortress to indicate they need immediate backup. Commander Lin spots the signal arrow from above. She quickly orders the deployment of special arrows loaded with black powder. Without wasting a second, they rain the black powder arrows down upon the horde. The moment the arrows hit the Tao Tai, the black powder triggers massive explosions, blowing the creatures to pieces. William and Tovar look around at the devastation. Suddenly, an arrow rigged with black powder lands right next to William and detonates. The blast violently knocks William back, leaving him badly wounded and weakened. After a brief struggle, the remaining Tao Tai retreat once more. The soldiers open a lower gate in the wall and bring the injured William and Tovar back inside. Next, we see the captured Tao Ti secured inside a heavy cage. The beast frantically tries to break the bars. However, a scholar slowly brings the magnet close to the cage. The moment the magnet nears the beast, the Tao Ti instantly calms down. Confirming their theory, whoever holds the magnet is safe from attack. At this moment, they discover that the Tao Tai have bypassed the wall by digging a massive tunnel underneath. The next instant, a large force of soldiers descends from the wall to investigate. Meanwhile, we see Tovar and the old man. They have successfully stolen the black powder and are making their escape. However, William intercepts them and begs Tovar to stop. Tovar snaps, "Have you lost your mind? We came here for the black powder and now we have it. We're leaving." William replies, "All my life I've only fought for food and survival. But today, for the first time, I'm fighting for something more. For honor. We have to help them." But the old man cuts a rope, causing a heavy cargo bundle to swing and strike William in the head, knocking him out. The two then flee the scene. However, a nearby soldier who was cooking felt the commotion. Shortly after, William is found and put in chains. Lin approaches him and says, "Your friends have stolen the black powder and fled. Tell me, how did you know what black powder even was?" William responds, "I tried to stop them, but they attacked me and escaped." Commander Lin finds it hard to believe him. Just then, the soldier who was cooking steps forward. He tells Commander Lin, "I saw it with my own eyes. William did try to stop them. He is innocent." Commander Lin orders, "Keep him detained in the prison quarters for now." A few days pass, and when William is finally released, he is stunned by the devastation around him, and he grabs a nearby man and demands, "Where is Commander Lin?" The man replies despairingly, "It's over. We lost the battle. We've lost. You are free to go. The creatures have breached the capital city, and nothing can stop them now. The Tao Tai will wipe out the rest of humanity in a matter of days." The man tells William that since the end is near, he can take as much black powder as he wants because it won't matter anyway. William presses, "There must be another way to stop them." However, the mass of Tao Ti below launches a vicious assault on them. The creatures climb the city buildings and tear into the flying balloon wire, sending Lin and her troops crashing down. Lin acts quickly, driving a large spear through an attacking Tao Ti. As soon as one dies, a massive swarm of Tao Tai surrounds her, trapping her completely. Right at that critical moment, William arrives and shouts for Lin to grab onto him. As the Tao Tai leap to kill her, Lin shows incredible agility, leaping up to catch William's hand. However, the creatures below continue jumping up to snap at her feet. William quickly hands a black powder explosive to Lin. Without a second thought, she drops the explosive into the cluster of Tao Ti below, triggering a massive blast that vaporizes all the surrounding creatures. Using a remaining balloon line, the two make their way into a palace tower, where they bring the captured Tao Ti. They rig the sedated beast with layers of black powder explosives and place meat in front of it. Their plan is to feed the creature and release it so it returns to its queen. Once it reaches her, William will shoot a fire arrow at the explosives from afar, triggering a blast to kill the queen. But suddenly, a rogue pack of Tao Tai breaches the tower. The soldier guarding the door tries his best to hold them back, but a creature savagely bites his arm. This is the very same soldier William had saved at the beginning of the story. William manages to kill the attacking beast and rushes to the wounded soldier's side, checking his arm. "You're going to make it. The wound is bad, but you'll survive. We'll come back for you." As they move away, another Tao Tai charges toward them. Stranded, the wounded soldier ignites the black powder in his hand. As the creature lunges at him, the spark catches, causing a massive explosion that destroys both the soldier and the creature. Meanwhile, the remaining team removes the magnet from the captured Tao Tai. With the magnet removed, the bound creature regains consciousness and runs outside straight back toward its queen. Seeing this, William is relieved because the creature running back is fully rigged with black powder explosives. William urges Commander Lin to get to the top of the tower, knowing that a higher vantage point will give them a clean shot. Shortly after, they reach the roof. Down below, the scholar, who is still holding the magnet, is suddenly cornered by a swarm of Tao Ti. Knowing his fate, he throws the magnet up to William, shouting, "It's all up to you now." The moment he says this, the Tao Tai swarm over him. Up on the roof, William wastes no time drawing his bow with a black powder arrow. Down below, the queen is surrounded by thousands of Tao Ti, who have formed an impenetrable shield wall around her. William takes aim and fires at the Queen. Just as the arrow is about to hit, the shield monsters expand their defense, causing the arrow to deflect harmlessly into the air. The Horde goes on high alert, but they don't see anyone immediately. William tells Commander Lin they need to climb even higher. They scale to the highest point of the tower and take aim at the Queen once more. But just like before, the guard monsters deflect the shot. This time, however, the Queen spots William and Commander Lin on the roof. Without wasting a moment, the Queen signals her guards. At her command, the Taote begins scaling the tower toward William. William looks down and realizes he is down to his very last arrow. He must make this shot count. But by then, the creatures have already reached the roof. Commander Lin hooks a grapple rope to a ledge. Seeing the monsters closing in, they both grab the rope and leap off the tower. Mid-air, William hurls the magnet into the swarm of guard monsters below, instantly disorienting and pacifying them. Seizing this split second, William fires his final arrow. The arrow strikes the black powder rigged on the messenger Tao Tai, but the initial impact fails to detonate it. For a moment, it looks like all their effort was in vain. But then we see a tiny spark catch the fuse. Suddenly, a catastrophic explosion erupts, destroying the Horde and killing the Queen. The moment the Queen dies, the millions of Tao Tai across the city instantly collapse and go completely rigid. Within seconds, the entire alien army is dead. Epilogue. Honor restored. We then cut back to the Great Wall Fortress where Tovar is held in chains. William approaches him. William tells Tovar that the commanders have offered him two choices. He can either take as much black powder as he can carry and leave, or he can choose to secure Tovar's freedom. Tovar says, "I'm sure you chose the powder. You've walked away from wealth before." William smiles and replies, "No, I chose your freedom." Tovar's chains are unlocked. Just then, Commander Lin arrives, having now been promoted to the highest military rank. Lin thanks William deeply, saying, "If it weren't for you, none of us would be alive today." In the final scene, William and Tovar are given horses and provisions to begin their journey home. They are accompanied by an elite escort of soldiers to ensure they safely reach their destination. Up on the wall, Commander Lin watches William ride away into the distance. And with that, the story comes to an end. Hey guys, I hope you thoroughly enjoyed this movie recap. If you did, please drop a like and subscribe to the channel, because you'll continue to find a treasure trove of movie explanations right here.